Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a quick update video in regards to what is upcoming for the month of March. As you guys may or may not have seen in the last week's Marvel Strike Force blog post, they were able to confirm a few items that we can go through in more detail, but as well, kind of what my takeaway is going to be for this month, especially given the progress and updates that they've provided so far. So that said, let's get right into it, guys. Memory Lane is the official monthly event that they've highlighted now for this month, and it's a little different in the last couple months that we've done because they did confirm that this is the official 5-year celebration month for Marvel Strike Force. We anticipated this as well because of Apocalypse's unlock, and we saw this forthcoming, especially with all the Legendary Horsemen. But they also confirmed, take this with a grain of salt. This may or may not benefit you folks directly, but they confirmed there's no monthly character. No Titania, no US agent is going to be featured. It's just going to be a regular month of milestones that we can accumulate rewards, materials, gear, gold, training, so forth, right? And it's an important point to bring up, guys, because if you're browsing around and you're disappointed or not disappointed with this, I think the community is a little mixed up because we've been placed in this position where we're constantly grinding and hustling to get X character shards for X number of points, and finally we get a month where there's actually not that much activity to really commemorate the 5-year anniversary, right? And I definitely can see why folks are disappointed in the sense that we've been placed in this psychological state where we're constantly working and hustling, grinding and unlocking. But I think it's actually a super healthy month to take a break because it's gotten to a boiling point, especially with the community in the last couple of weeks, more recently with the Kang Blitz, which ends today. The fact that everyone's been hustling over and over and complaining about never having a break, and then finally they announced that there is going to be if there's any month to take a month off, it's going to be the month of March, really, just to not have to blitz, not have to work for the milestones, because that's the one time where we probably won't be losing out on much if we just completely ignore the month of March, because they confirmed it's just going to be materials, gear, and rewards to really commemorate the anniversary. So guys, my takeaway for you folks is really take a look at how your life is going and in terms of the gaming aspect, because yeah, for sure I'm just going to continue business as usual. I'm going to be playing the way I normally play, but if I see that there's some juicy rewards, I'm going to go for it. But because it's easier, I'm definitely gonna have more of that position to say, hey, you know what? It's okay to take a step away from this for the time being, just because we're not missing out on any limited time characters, and that is really nice to know. So definitely a huge reflection time. Now, what does this mean for Scopely and Boundless taking this opportunity and initiative? I'm gonna be talking more on that in my next slide in more detail in regards to what they're kind of planning. But I mean, really, their focus is rerunning past events. They have more of a wait and see approach. Are they perhaps giving up and likely shifting gears here? And there's even rumors that the IP renewal is running out and they're basically just trying to run this game down. I don't think that's the case, guys. If you go back to the last week's blog post with the event creator, you can really get a sense of how passionate he is about the game, and even strongly noting that most mobile games like Marvel Strike Force, they don't make it to the 5th year. So it's a really, really big deal. I don't think the folks have given up, especially given how much money we see that whales and obviously top content creators put the money into. That it's working. They make a lot of money from this game. It's successful, even despite a community that's mixed in between being happy as well as being very triggered by what's been happening as of late with all the festivities, right? So I think they're actually taking a wait and see approach. I think they want to see how the feedback is going to be taking a month off in terms of the festivities, rerunning events. But I also don't think it's as lazy as what folks play it out to be as well. Yes, the programs, the events have already been ran before. The planning's already been done. It's already scripted and everything. But I also think it took a lot of courage for them to rerun these events, because they also did it in keeping in mind of newer players that have never done this event before. So for myself, I've been in the game less than 3 years, so some of these events I actually never seen before.
I actually personally appreciate it. You know, despite the fact that, yeah, I know Minerva is not good in the game anymore. I know that, you know, Psylocke's event, most people probably have her maxed out, but I'm an endgame player. You know, there's folks that started out a month ago. There's folks that started out 6 months ago, and I bet you anything, they're not the ones complaining that these events are being rerun. I personally am not complaining about it. I'm actually going to enjoy the break, and if there's any opportunity for me to get some juicy rewards, I'm going to go for it. So I think this is a huge mental break. I think they actually took the feedback of the community in the sense that they saw that folks were getting exhausted and just wanting a break, and unfortunately for the ones that grind harder and wail, it probably is going to be a harder month for you folks. It's going to be the opposite, right? People that have been grinding and needing a break, I think this is going to be a welcome sign just to take a breather. Conversely, the ones that are competitive, wanting more unlocks and so forth, good news. You're playing the right game. I promise you, there's probably going to be a lot more grinding to come afterwards, but nothing wrong with a free month. I'm going to take it. So that's just my 2 cents, guys. Obviously, my opinion doesn't really matter, but I think just using a balanced approach, I think that's what's happening behind the scenes personally, as opposed to, just bandwagoning with all the negativity that I'm seeing. So that said, something super excited about, this is the actual highlight of the month that, everyone seems to have forgotten, even despite the fact that they announced that there's no featured character. It's the Apocalypse Saga, guys. This is what it's all about. This has been ramping up for the last year and a bit. 100%, it makes sense that they decided not to add all these different new activities just to focus on the Apocalypse Saga, because there probably will be glitches, there probably will be bugs, and they're going to be watching that in tandem. And I wouldn't be surprised if they run some sort of event that's tied to this as well, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting. The countdown's already in the game. We're going to get more details in tomorrow's Marvel Strike Force blog post, as well as highlighting again a quick summary of how to participate. But in layman's terms, guys, if you guys have Gear Tier level 15 for all 23 characters, you're able to at least participate in the hard mode difficulty. But I think the majority of the community will be working towards unlocking and actually being able to participate in heroic mode, which is difficulty 2, also unlocking a baby Apocalypse. So I'm definitely excited about that. And then last but not least, guys, anniversary takeaways that kind of seem to get lost in the details of when they made the announcement, right? But yeah, there's a new Kestrel male costume for Shield Medic. I'm not sure if you guys care about costumes, but I think it's still really cool and BA for Kestrel to get another skin. And I've always wanted a male version of Shield Medic. I don't personally use her or him, but I mean, everyone can agree that, back in the day when we all started, this is a huge shout out and throwback to one of the powerful characters in the game, because he or she remained to be one of the only healers, right? That's until Minerva came out. Speaking of Minerva, they also mentioned in the Strike Time video that there is possibly and probably a pocket dimension with some element of BKT, specifically Minerva, just to kind of give her a throwback, right? Whether or not this actually comes to fruition remains to be seen, but I mean, they mentioned it, so that means that there's definitely some work being done behind the scenes. I'm looking forward to it because I already have them all built up, and it's just cool to kind of give that throwback, right? Yes, she's no longer relevant in the game, but I cannot deny that when I went through Dark Dimension 3 and Dark Dimension 4, she was a very, very pivotal piece for myself. So, you got to give credit where credit's due. Perhaps in the future she'll get a rework, but I mean, definitely she was a meta-changing character during her prime time. They also confirmed that the Gambit raid is getting reworked in the sense that there are more traits being added, there's more characters being added, and that was, to be honest, that was a very fun raid for our alliance, especially if you're competitive and liking change. Super dynamic. I really, really enjoyed the Gambit raids, despite how challenging and frustrating. I think one of the nodes, the pathways that we did were bugged, so it definitely threw a wrench in our plans, but I mean, we still had a great time. It was one of the better raids that we've ever seen, so I'm excited if there's more opportunities of how that gets reworked and potential in the future to add a similar game mode that becomes more permanent, right? And then lastly, guys, just honestly a healthy break. Like, I'm actually really looking forward to just not having to check my phone, not having to go through the milestones and see what's going on from a week to week. I think month of March is going to be actually refreshing for a lot of people, and I think they actually considered that and factored it in based on everything that's happened leading up to the unlock of Apocalypse for the last year. So that's just my 2 cents, guys. Otherwise, there is a new event that's opening up today where you can use a combination of spending campaign energy, gold orbs, and I'm going through that, so as well as the Psylocke's event. So good luck with that, guys. I'll keep you posted with any updates, but they always throw curveballs on us anyways, guys. Don't expect that nothing's going to happen in March. There's no feature character, but I'm sure there's going to be tons of things to do in terms of the festivities, but as well as commemorating a lot of the honorable mentions I've made already. Thank you as always. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.